Tonight at 11 on WBOC, we continue our series Made in the USA here on Delmarva.
WBOC's Steve Hammond is taking a close look at another local business most people don't know about that is making an impact around the world. Check it out.
Every day, the sparks fly at Miller Metal Fabrication in Bridgeville. The company cuts, shapes, and drills metal parts for companies all around the world. Owner Marty Miller says it wasn't always that way.
We were doing things the old way, which was done mainly by hand. We had shears, single head punches, drill presses.
That was until 6 years ago when Miller embraced new technology. A $3.5 million investment has helped him compete and win globally. Metal parts made in the USA here on Delmarva. Steve Hammond, WBOC News.
And Steve Hammond joins us now to talk a little bit more about the story. Now, it looks fascinating already, and for those of you that missed it, tell us a little bit. This is part of a series.
Right.
What is the series?
It's a three-part series, and I've been hearing a lot from economists who say it's manufacturing that's going to help turn the economy around nationally and here on Delmarva. And I thought, well, you know, there are companies that are manufacturing things on Delmarva that people don't really know about. We talked about New Ravenna in Exmoor, Virginia last week that makes mosaic tiles, and they're shipping them all around the world. Here's Miller Metal Fabrication. Again, it's an example of companies embracing technology, and they are competing and winning around the world. It's neat stuff.
Yeah, you mentioned that they embrace technology. It's pretty impressive from what we saw in the piece there.
You know, there's a shot in the story that airs tonight at 11 o'clock. These laser cutters with metal are so precise that it's a shot of a quarter, and next to a quarter is a very tiny bicycle about this big that's been cut with a laser cutter. It's impressive. But also Miller Metal, you know, they do such neat things with metal. For example, they may have different customers using the same piece of sheet metal. They'll nest all of these orders onto one piece of sheet metal. They have a computer that puts it all together, says, yep, we can do that, and there's very little waste that way. And so all of this new technology is really, again, being embraced, and as Marty Miller says, there's a new industrial revolution underway in this country.
Okay, but I got to ask, I mean, the technology is fascinating. Being a guy, I just absolutely love the technology stuff, but doesn't that technology eliminate jobs?
That's what everybody thinks. Marty Miller will tell you otherwise. You know, he had a handful of employees initially 6 years ago. Then he started getting into all these laser cutters. He's got 63 employees now, and that company is going full bore all the time, overnight as well.
Wow. All right. So it's a three-part series. We had part one last week, two this week. What do we have next week? Next
week is such a great American success story. It's called First State Manufacturing. Eli Valenzuela, a great story of a guy who was in the Army, and he was fascinated by upholstery. He took a correspondence course learning how to sew. He bought a little sewing machine, and now First State Manufacturing is making everything from upholstering airplanes. 80% of their business is military, but they're doing flak jackets for Israelis. They're doing stuff for planes, whether it's upholstering seats for the pilots. It's a really great story, and the company is also doing very well. And it's a neat example of someone, again, just a correspondence course, and learning how to sew with just one little sewing machine, starting in his garage, and now in a 75,000 square foot facility in Milford, Delaware.
And that's next week.
That's next week.
And tonight is
Miller Metal from Bridgeville, tonight at 11.
All right, and you can catch Steve's special report Made in America here on Delmarva tonight on WBOC News at 11.
Steve, thank you for coming in.
No problem. Thank you.
You know, you can get them in the store, or you can just make them yourself.
Up next, we put the Bake Pops pan to the test to see if it's as easy as it looks on the As Seen on TV commercial. Delmarva Life, life at its best here on Delmarva.